what is the highest percentage submission in grappling?
Overall, you have to go with the rear naked strangles from the back. If you look at most tournaments, most rule sets, it has success across all rule sets, all weight divisions, all body types. It doesn't require any kind of specific physical advantage, such as height, in order to be effective. It works equally well in both fighting and grappling. It will work regardless of how physically and mentally tough your opponent is. Okay, a heel hook is a very high percentage technique in modern day competition. But if your opponent simply makes up his mind that he's just not going to tap and is willing to take the physical damage, it won't result in the end of a match. A stranglehold, by contrast, will always end a match, regardless of your opponent's mental toughness. So I believe it's fair to say that at the end of the day, the single most high percentage method of submitting people in grappling is the rear naked strangle.
So when you look at an athlete, maybe Gordon, you could speak to this, like what's the best, you mentioned Gary with the guillotine, what's the best submission to really invest in? Is it the rear naked choke? To really invest your development, like understanding the entirety of the system that leads into that?
I think that, you have to do them all, obviously, but if I had like one submission only one submission I could pick for the rest of my life, it would definitely be a rear naked.
Can you explain maybe some of the actual technical details of why that's the case?
Well, as John spoke about, they're different in joint locks, whereas you don't have to tap. You can just let your leg break and then keep going with the strangle. There's none of that. And then it's just an inherent advantage you have being behind someone. Whereas if you go for an armbar, you start from top mount and you're facing the guy, and then you put him down and you're not directly behind him. With leg locks, you're facing the guy. Whereas when you're on someone's back, you have them in a pin where your chest to back, you have a body triangle in, you're pinning the guy in place. He can't explode out. He can't grease his way out most of the time. And there's an inherent advantage you have being behind them due to the fact that we're poorly set up to deal with threats behind us.
So would you say that's the most dominant position in jiu-jitsu, like more than mount, more than side control, more than...
I think if you look at most matches historically, most guys who get stuck in positions for long amounts of time are guys with their back taken. If you get an explosive guy from bottom mount, he can bridge and he can off balance you and lock half guard maybe and then work back to guard. But if someone locks a body triangle on your back, that's where you see most guys getting pinned in place for long amounts of time.